Mic check. Okay, the mic gain. Need to check out the mic. The music is getting into it. Reality and deception. Yeah, gas. Yeah, gas.
Listen up! Yes, I'm talking to you. If you can hear my voice, you've got work to do. This is something you all need to understand. If you want to be the best in whatever you do, you gotta start acting different than everybody else. You don't have to compare yourself to anyone because you.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, very smooth. You're like one of my worst workout bots. But if you say you should do it, do it. Not nothing. Why these grips like this? These grips feel very, very okay. Interesting. All right, so a lot of facilities will be gone by next year at my own gym, at my main branch. This branch basically gives me the opportunity to work out twice a day. But my evening workouts are just, okay, I'll be doing something, time to cool off or something. Oh, shit. Sending my school. A chocolate Cinderella. What? Liquid? Nakaldin, okay. Nakaldin. So, normal? Why, okay. Sorry? Okay, so, um, on my way back to the office. Today is pretty simple. It's the end of the year, so I'm just winding down from work, basically. This guy should move now. Okay, so this is the guy who has the exhaust. That's that's a nice flex. Speaking of exhaust, right? I think each time I remember the fact that customer experience has more to do with psychology than any other thing. Then I remember that psychology is something that everybody needs to learn. That reminds me. I need to go and I need to go and rewatch that Dan Coach podcast because the guy he was talking to made a statement regarding how everybody needs to master a couple of things like psychology, so you know people's intentions. You have to master agency, so you don't get replaced. But that guy sounded pretty, very, very intelligent. And speaking of that guy said something that he said something that was very powerful. I feel this is one thing that has made lose it has made the generation to lose masculinity. I think it has made modern day man to lose masculinity amongst many factors. It's the idea of stories. So masculinity, we like this idea of not telling stories. Hold on, please. Let me just. I don't want to miss this turn anymore. So masculine men don't read fiction stories because it's not profitable. It's not this. It's not this kind of self-improvement kind of stuff that goes out and everything. So then he says something like, if the strong men are not telling their stories, who is telling the stories on their behalf? Who is passing on the right message? So in the course of doing that, the conservatives, the strong men, the masculine men have given up the concept of stories. They've trashed them. So what now has happened, which is pretty evident, and we see it every day, is regarding these guys. It's regarding what do they call them? Our what do they call it? Our actors, our actresses, the roles they play. So for example, if you look at the actor for Superman, from the first three Superman movies, right? Versus the common Superman, you will wonder, did he undergo a testosterone therapy or something? Why is he looking all weak and all? What's the problem? So it's because we are basically allowing feminine men to tell the stories of masculine men, which completely makes no sense because when people are telling stories, it comes from their point of view. Yes, they may have a team they're working with, but in the very end, like just the same way I say, a company is dictated by the mindset of the director. It's the same way. It's the same way that. Hold on. What's happening here? Yeah, that the mindset of a what's that word? What's that word? The mindset of a the destination of the company is determined a lot by the mindset of who runs the company. Same thing. If you are telling someone to tell a story, because these guys they tell stories at the same time they're the ones who go and source the actors, right? Then you start seeing the whole idea of dad boards, the whole idea of a skinny Superman, the whole idea of a Superman that doesn't have the jawline, a less masculine one. Oh, by the way, I feel this coming year is my year of getting the jawline. I want to have a much more. I want to be intentional about having a much more masculine physique. Right. That's why I'm trying my possible best to get a way better diet. With my diet, I am also adding fasting, doing things that basically shoot up testosterone, allow me to focus and do a lot of things. So that's my goal coming into 2025. And let's see, man, it's something that I feel that I think, ironically, right, me 10 years ago felt like becoming a masculine man is not what one should strive towards. But, well, I'm sorry. The world needs masculine men right now. And one thing that keeps getting to me is the fact that a lot of women do what they want to do, right? And when the men do what, and they make men do certain things, right? And they say, oh, sorry, we should blame the men for not being disciplined, which they are completely correct. They are completely correct. The men need to become disciplined. And this is where I feel my message comes in, right? That, hey, men, we cannot control what women do, but we can control ourselves. So it's that whole idea of self-control. And before I can preach self-control, I have to control myself. I have to set goals for myself. I have to do things. So one goal I've set this coming year is avoid sugar. Limit sugar. Because to be very, very frank, since I'm practicing detachment, right, I can basically eat things that are bitter and not be bothered. I can eat things that don't have taste. So provided I know that it's worth it. Abi? Although I'm here to start drinking things like bitter leaf though. I could be taking a lot of bitter leaf soups. But yeah, basically a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruits. At the same time doing quite an amount of fasting. Man, I'm dreading police right now, but I don't have anything to give to them, and it's the truth. If I have, I give it to them. It's alright, Joe. So yes, don't train with my instructor. See him tomorrow again. He says from next year, the MMA itself will get intense, will get much more intense. At the same time, next year, I'll be starting boxing. The money for gears, man. I'll find the money. I'll get the money. I'll probably purchase those items. I'm supposed to get them now, but the funds are currently not available for that. I need to pay up salaries, type stuff. I need to pay up salaries. So also one of my goals, right, this next year is tracking what I'm spending. Because because it's one thing, right? If you block one bad habit, magically it feels like bad habits pop out from somewhere else. That reminds me, I heard that one chicken for this Christmas is 55,000 naira. Chicken, 55,000 naira. Well, I'm not actually a Christmas guy. All of my Christmases have been me just being indoors, not really bothering, not really caring about doing too much. So I don't think it will be a big deal for me. I don't think it will be a big deal for me. So that time of the year, it's December, where people are billing people left and right. Everybody. The irony is that people don't see that this thing is a perfect circle, right? Because they are. If you look at the way everybody is programmed, it's December. So what that means is that you are programmed to spend as much as possible, just because it is December. Now, ironically, 7 days after the birth of Christ is the new year. Okay, no problem. Magically, 45 days after the new year is Valentine's Day. And trust me, the amount of transactions that happen on Valentine's Day is insane. And people don't sit down to like question all of these things. Because I have worked with banks, and bro, when these banks pull, when they move in what do they call it? When they move in February 14 alone, which I have seen, it's crazy. About 4 to 8 times their regular daily transactions. 4 to 8 times. I mean, the worst part is even between that 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. All sorts of transactions happening left and right, and you're wondering, all based off of, oh, everybody is doing it, so why don't we do it? So maybe, well, maybe in my own case, maybe when I have kids, December 25, I want to take them out. But no, if I have kids, that date is too extreme or such. So I'm not sure I'll do that. Instead, what I would do is take them out the day that's not the main day. I mean, the main day, I think most of my childhood, on the main day we were at home. Yes, we were at home. We ate food. We accepted visitors and all. My main goal for the half of the year now is just to prepare myself for that idea of daily creation, daily content creation. Take content creation like it's an actual thing. Like I said, if I'm to do that aggressively, right? As in, I may end up doing 10 videos per day. End up doing 10 videos per day for 5 days a week. End up, and I feel it's possible. And maybe after like 3 months, I may reduce the number of time I spend in creating content because I've gotten good at freestyling with my content. And one thing I think this whole content creation has taught me is it has helped my speech a lot. Before, I used to have a lot of filler words, but now the expression just keeps getting better by the day. And I've been getting nice compliments. Right now, I'm trying to adjust the speed at which I talk. I want to learn how to talk much more slowly and much deeper. But I believe all of these things come when my brain begins to like fire and everything. I think it has something to do with maybe ADHD or something. So I think yesterday I watched a video regarding ADHD, right? And the thing about it is ADHD was super valuable. This is why everybody needs to evolve. ADHD back in the days was super valuable because the people who had ADHD, they could hyper focus on their targets. That is the hunter gatherer people would hyper focus on their targets and hit the target with precision. They can stay longer than people. They were at alert at the same time. When you are not at alert, you are somewhat scattered around. But that alertness, that hyper focus, was one of the things that made them hunt quick. Well, as time passed, we got into this industrial revolution where people are forced to sit in a position or stay in one position for long hours, which does not favor them because their minds are used to wandering until they find something to channel that focus on. So one of my life goals, right, is to not to basically to raise the awareness of ADHD, but to create this environment where ADHDers are programmed to maximize their what they call it, their results, their goals and everything, and use it to their advantage. So I'm back home already. It's that quick. Let me see how many minutes it is. It's a 30 minutes drive. Okay, all right. So yeah, see you very soon. Talk to you soon. And bye for now. So it's that end of the year. So I'm just planning out the next year, looking at different areas of my life, looking at my monthly budget, which I said I want to go heavy on, factoring the bills, the salaries I have to pay, and everything. So it's why, because I always believe that the limits you impose on yourself are far better than the limits that nature imposes on you. At the same time, you have to expand. So you have to expand beyond those limits. So when you expand beyond those limits, you can then create your own limits. So the idea of creating your own limits is the idea of self-discipline. So that's something that I want to go. But discipline is key. So looked at my monthly budget, kind of like wait, accounts for like 30 meals. So looking at everything, looking at how much I spend on myself for things that are not essential. It's about 200,000 naira. So what that means is that in return, my salary is about 100. Nothing past that 100. Nothing past it. So that accounts for salaries, utility bills, tools that are being paid for, and whatnot. So circling back now, so that means is if I want to do anything beyond that 100,000 naira, that means is I have to sacrifice something else and everything. So even fueling for boxing, fueling for MMA, taking care of. Is that add haircuts? Okay. It means haircut is part of the miscellaneous. So yeah, that's it. I also want to have a meeting with my guy because I feel like I said, I want to pivot towards content and all that. At the same time, I want to work out the bills to be paid today. So it's about 2 days to Christmas. Let me have. Yeah, OG Alpha. Yeah, so Alpha, did you get my message I sent this morning?
Yeah, I started working on it. I actually need to help me get certificates. I should be done with it for 12.
Okay, 1, 2. So, yeah, we're supposed to think about this coming here, right? So, like I said, like I said, first of all, can we speak to Wumi about the enterprise so we can know what the next step is?
Definitely, why not?
Okay, so when will I get feedback on that?
I think it's best to do it on a very free day so that you not say he has work or something.
You know, that is still a feedback, but when will I get that feedback? That is still a feedback at least, but when will I get the feedback?
I'll buzz you today. I'll buzz you. After we finish up, I'll buzz you.
Okay, 1, 2, keep payments. Then, on the other hand, like I said, this coming year, I feel we might tilt more towards content, becoming the what do you call it? The guys, this small business kind of guys, or I don't know how to put it, but basically like a media company for small and medium enterprise owners. Let's create a community of them. I think that's what we should go heavy on. The worst case is that we can build around the people that we get, or we can monetize the community, something like that. That's what I have in mind for this coming year. So what that means is that we will have to up our content game. We'll have to up production values. And what else? Then Joy, when are we getting rid of Joy?
I have to pay her now. I was done it now. Okay, I'll let her work till the 30th, then finish.
Okay. What else? Then Joy. Let me see if I forget anything. I think that's most of it from my end. That's most of it
You
from my
need to
end.
let someone know before you let go of Joy.
Yeah, I think we should let your man know after we are paid.
Alright.
Just tell them that we're not really feeling any improvements, and it's almost like I don't know, to me, it feels like we're just dragging her. She's doing it for the sake of doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. Sorry?
No, Wala. I understand what you say.
Well, that reminds me, this Chairman December is very dirty. She upload that for WhatsApp.
It means Chala is paying her.
She sure went out to that other Chairman babe. You can't remember her.
Best friend.
Sorry?
I think they are very good friends. She always post that.
Okay. Only once I've seen her though. Okay,
That's my second time.
Alright, no problems. So just give me feedback on Wumi. I'm just looking at this coming year, knowing how to plan for it and all of that.
Alright. So, when this coming, I'm actually this day because I'm still not feeling too fine. I just want to get more drugs this month. So I'm sure it won't worry me. But then again, I was thinking, just like people like Silver, when I went to meet Silver that Saturday, I was even happy I went. Silver did it a little bit excited. His uncle came back to look at. He came there as if he was not the owner of the shop. There was stayed around the shop if that was Silver.
Okay.
And he left and came back, crack joke that Silver today lie and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay.
It seemed exciting to him. So my reasoning now is that, and it's the same thing. It's the same excitement that I felt when I was telling people about T'Challa that time I went to buy DJ team in Alaba. Yeah, I saw it when I was telling you, he looked very excited about it. So I think those should be our customers for now. Let's target those guys. Those guys are more.
No, sorry. What was Silver excited about? The interview.
Yeah.
So the Alaba guys, what were they excited about?
T'Challa as a product to itself.
Okay.
Do you understand? So these business owners are looking for ways to make their business look better.
Okay.
Like this thing. So I feel like instead of like, even though we should create content that actually appeal to them, honestly. That's how I feel. Well, first of all, content that appeal to them. And if sales people are coming through, also later in the year, if sales people come through, also them too, that they will, because once you mention the professionalism of what T'Challa does for their business, they are up to it, and they will now want to be with them. We can settle down, ask for feedback, that kind of thing. And by the time I think the extra money we have, we can use it and push their own business in terms of, I mean, if we say we're running ads and saying that we're pushing your business, obviously you want to work with us now, won't you?
Okay.
So that's the area I've been thinking before. We'll sit down and settle. Maybe just get this my health back together today, tomorrow.
Okay. So as soon as possible, let me get those three things. The payroll, the feedback from Wumi, and
It's only the content guys we're paying this month now. We're not paying any sales person this month.
no, we exceeded 2 weeks for this babe.
Bro,
What's her name? Bukola.
just pay her for the 1 week we exceeded now.
Alright. Okay.
We'll pay her for the 3 days that we exceeded. Then after those 2 weeks.
We'll communicate that to her and everything. So it feels like, so is there any plan for sales now, or you feel like that we can go with that?
In terms of sales, yeah, I feel like we should pause. Let's us by ourselves. When we enter, like even when they are going to talk to this guy. Okay, for sales, for next year, I feel like we should get somebody like you said that is in-house, that stays around. But we're not just going to say that person should learn. We're actually going to go into the market with that people and try to get customers with that person. Do you understand?
I don't get, come again.
So for the sales, when we employ the next set of people, we're not going to like do the whole ragamuffin of like calls and things. Let's enter the market and look for the customers first.
Okay.
Do you understand? Okay, they will enter Alaba, get as many as we can.
So where are we?
And you were telling me about the guy in the gym.
Yeah, so I'm not talking about the gym, right? Tech Bro, about to make tech, he also does content. He also has a startup that tested this app last week. You know what the app is? Jukebox. So the whole idea is that you're in the club, you want to hear a particular song, right? But you gotta walk to the DJ because maybe shame they catch you. But if you just tip the DJ, send that to the DJ. DJ will receive the tip, see your song. If he wants to play, you can play it. If he says no, your tip will come back to you. But as the guy doesn't accept it, he will look for the way to transition what is currently playing and bring it in. Like it's a way of one, rewarding the DJ. Two, making him creative. Two, he's getting feedback from
real time.
Yeah, real-time feedback. Okay, maybe a particular song is trending. You want to know how to mix that song. You get. So I found that mad. So just plug a lot of stuff. Very cute guy, very relatable. We spoke for like an hour. As in we left everything we were doing. We spoke for an hour. Very cute guy. Okay, so that whole DJ stuff, I was like, okay, that and he does content. He does content for other people, other companies. Like a shit ton of content. You think he's a content creator, but no, he's a tech bro who does content. Then what else? The guy's idea basically got to me, and it made mad sense. It made mad sense. So yes, so that's why this coming year, actually this coming year, I feel like but this stuff I'm seeing on like, how content is actually the future, and building an audience is actually the future, which I think is what we should look into heavily. Hold on, let me see. Content is the future. I wish I could send some videos to you regarding that, but the whole point is that we can teach people what big businesses are doing and all of that, what SMEs are doing, why they're successful. But the whole idea is to basically educate people. I feel like if we have a community, we can monetize the community and easily sell something to them. That's why I'm just iterating that idea over and over again. I'm saying this because I'm also telling myself that personally, content is just the way. Like, it is just the only way you can get out of it. And if I'm aggressive on content, I mean aggressive is if you get somebody in-house, only Chioma can stay out, only Chioma can be outside because you trust Chioma and how to deliver. But everybody is going to be indoors. If Chioma gives you an idea, you're creating up to maybe 4, 5, 6 videos per day. That's not my business. Proper videos. You're being funny. You're shooting a lot. Sorry?
These guys, people like Silver, we can either help or teach them how to make better content about their businesses.
Yeah.
Do you get? So it's not really about because you can coach them. Another thing is them having the ability to do it. Do you understand?
Okay.
Because we keep telling them, but now where's the ginger of doing it? So we can create this community where we have the set of content creators like this is your guy, helps them ideate and create this content, and they pay a fee. Or I'm shooting things like collaboration, like we're trying to do with ENA, Jimmy, and that Festa guy. Do you understand? So basically, I get the whole point of the content. So I think everything we have to do still boils down to that content.
Okay. Something like that. That's why I'm still iterating on content. So, like I say, we'll get rid of Joy and find somebody that can do that that can do that stuff and be coming every day. Because that active engagement, that engagement is doing a lot. And then working from home now is not proven to work well for anybody. It's not proven to work well for anybody.
Besides, telling young people to work from home doesn't even make sense every day.
I mean, so they have a lot of limitations, apart from not making sense. They have limitations like data, light. So you work from home when everything is perfect. So that was just it. So like I said, when I said to just let's look at it deeper. To me, I feel like it's a full commitment. The worst that will happen is zero money. The best that will happen is the worst that will happen is zero cash, but an audience that we can monetize. The best that will happen is an audience that can be monetized. My point is, I don't see any downsides to this. If you're actually putting out a lot of content, high quality interviews, a lot, I'm looking at up to 10 per day. No problem, Sha. Let's go. So give me feedback on the payroll, on Wumi. Payroll, Wumi, and what again?
I was the one that I remember for now.
Okay, no problem. So later then. Hey.